Well, welcome to our Zoom tonight, which our topic is on Vitalizer. And for you guys who are a little bit newer to our Zooms, we try to keep these to 20 minutes in focus and include topics that are important to you guys. So if you do have something you'd like to hear about, we love suggestions. So if you can think of anything you'd like to discuss, we're open to ideas. So please share them. So, hey, Jen, I see some more coming on here. Welcome. All right. So with Vitalizer, this is kind of a foundation product that I really could spend, I can't even tell you guys how long on, because there's so much that's involved with the Vitalizer. So I hope I'm able to do a little bit of justice and kind of explaining a little bit about what the Vitalizer does, how it's been put together, and the importance of it. So just to kind of throw this out there for some of you guys that are newer, I want to make sure you are aware of the new Prove It Challenge. So anyone that's a current member, you can get this special deal to the end of August. That if you order your Vitalizer, which we're going to talk about tonight, and your Life Shake, you get the cleanse for free, and you get the shipping on anything in your order for free. So I want to make sure you guys know about this. And for new members, there's also some different incentives for that. So we're going to actually be talking about this a little bit on our business training later for some of you guys that are staying on. But wanted to make sure you know about this great Prove It Challenge. And some of us are actually doing the cleanse this week. So we are already starting out on this. And it is a great way to get started, though, in noticing how you can improve your health. So as we're getting started here, I think that this is just something really important to highlight, that there are very few things that you can put into your body that you can actually make the claims that it can actually change your life. And I know that is hard to believe, but that's why I want to kind of give you guys some of the data of what's behind this whole Vitalizer and why it is so important. And just kind of starting out here with a few facts, I think that these are really important things to note, that we think as Americans that we, granted, have the most options for foods, that we are actually some of the most overfed and undernourished populations in society. And that is very sad. And the fact that we have increased so many unhealthy foods, and if you're reading the percentages there on the screen, much of that is coming from convenience foods, and we're eating less and less of things that we should, like fruits and vegetables. And that is where we have to start to look at how can we change and educate each other and educate our families on what are good choices. And if you guys are reading there on the screen right now, you can see there, people think that the top vegetables that we intake are things like ketchup and French fries, which, that is very, very sad. There was a very popular show a while back, if you guys remember, the chef that traveled around and did different areas and showing how the schools in their lunch programs, and if you ask majority of the kids what their favorite vegetable was, they would say French fries. And again, we need to be getting back to basics and look at, fact, up to 38% decline in nutrient content of garden crops during the past 50 years. So even though some of us are eating our vegetables, it doesn't mean that they have as high of quality nutrient value as they did many years ago. And, Americans, adults, are lacking 7 key nutrients in their diet at least. So when we start to notice these deficiencies, we have to be aware of how that impacts our health. And that's why we really want to educate people on understanding what the difference is and using something like Shaklee. And these 4 key points here really help to validate what is so special about Shaklee and the Shaklee difference that will lead us into our talking about Vitalizer here soon. So just real quick, some things to note that when you're looking at anything you're putting in and around your body, number one, purity. And just to kind of, again, highlight of why Shaklee is so different, that purity-wise, they test for more than 350 contaminants in every single product that they produce. And if you look at some things such as pesticides, there are over 320 tests that they do alone just on testing for pesticides. The USP actually only requires testing for 80. So when you think about that impact of all those chemicals in our diet long term, we have to question, is there a correlation with all these chemicals and disease rates? And I think that when we really get down to it, it can make a substantial impact on our long-term health. Next is potency. When we think about potency and realizing that, I think a lot of people are under the impression that because something is natural, that it means it's safe. You need to make sure that, granted it may be natural, that it's actually doing what it says. And that's where, for example, we're going to be talking about, this Vitalizer here has many patents on it. And Shaklee has patents on many of their products, over 600 of them. And the fact that the individual nutrient is actually studied. So when you have the clinical studies that's verifying not only is the ingredient pure, it's also doing what it says it's going to be doing in the right amounts in our body at the right time. So very key difference in many of the things that you see in the marketplace with nutrition today. Performance, another very important topic that, when you're trying to make sure that what you're putting in is actually working. Again, we talked about having those studies, but it's absorbed also at the right time. So this is something we're going to be talking about in this Vitalizer strip is actually this B and C component. There's a B plus C that's in one of the little vitamins that we have in there. And the delivery system of that product alone has actually been shown to be absorbable into the body 198% more than other B vitamins that are available in the marketplace. So think about that, 198% more. So other B vitamins plus C, you have no idea of actually if they're being absorbed and for how long they're actually staying in the body. So there's a big thing to talk about delivery. And the Vitalizer strip is actually continuously being released in your body up to 12 hours. So we have the purity, the potency, the performance, and next we have the proof. There are over 100 scientific published studies in peer-reviewed medical journals stating, again, the proof. So it's not just somebody selling this. Shaklee's been around over 100 years, but all of this is what makes Shaklee so special. And the landmark study is where actually the Vitalizer strip came from. So this landmark study, and actually many of us were just coming back from Las Vegas where we had our global conference. There's another study that's going to be released here very soon, which is an additional 10-year landmark study. But this first one was very significant in showing what happened when people took the right nutrients from Shaklee that were guaranteed absorbed, nature-based, for a long period of time. 20 years, longest study that's ever been done on supplements. And this is what was found on long-term supplement users of Shaklee products. And I just, again, think this is very significant because the Vitalizer strip came from this specific study. So they found that what was lacking in people's diets are the key nutrients that they put into our Vitalizer strip. So how do we know when we're buying products that, we have a brand we can trust, we're using the right dosage, we have products that when taken together are going to be safe, and how many of each thing should you take each day? These are questions that oftentimes are unanswered, and that's why we need to find something that states that what we're doing is the right thing. And that's where this Vitalizer actually makes it very easy. If you were to take everything into the strip and have to individually supplement these, and many of you have probably, been told by your physician you should add extra D into your diet, for example, or take a multivitamin, but how do you know what to take, when to take it, and where should you buy it from? This takes the simplicity factor of putting this all together into one strip that is guaranteed to be absorbed in your bloodstream. So this is an example of what you'd have to eat in one day. Now note, for example, vitamin C, you don't have to just eat one orange to get the equivalent of what's in this B plus C tablet. You'd have to actually eat 16 oranges. So if you break all these down, it's basically impossible to eat everything of what you're going to be seeing here in one of these strips. So, it's very exciting to have a product that has all of these key things in there, but what is specific to one of the patents is actually this delivery system. So I'm going to show you the breakdown of how each little individual option of what's in this product is going to be released into your body. And it's from this smart release delivery system. So you can see it broken down there and how this works. So we're going to start first of all with our multivitamin. So we all should be taking a multivitamin like we talked about here at the beginning. It doesn't matter if you eat the color of the rainbow every day and you eat organic and you eat as clean as you can. Most Americans are still devoid of nutrients. And that's why the multivitamin is a key component to making sure that we are covering our bases and getting those bases covered with all of our vitamins and minerals by taking this multivitamin. Now, if you notice this coating here, it's actually a spirulina coating, which is an excellent source of chlorophyll. But the nutrient value in what's in this is so complex that there is so many nutrients in here, but it covers everything you need in a minimal amount. And if you notice here, it talks about how the enhancement of the absorption of folic acid, which we talk about that a lot in B vitamins, but it's also in our Vital E. So this key component makes sure that this Vital E is actually absorbed in the upper part of your stomach, which again, that's very, very important to note of where it's delivered at the right time to be guaranteeing the release of the nutrients. The next one we're going to get into here is actually our Carotid E Omega. So what's in this? Again, if you were to have to individually break these down, someone did this and actually broke it down. They went to Walgreens and put all of these nutrients, compared them to what it would cost compared to taking into the Vitalizer, and it was close to $200. So when you break it down, this is going to be around $70 a month for your strip, which break that down to about $2 a day. You know, concentrated nutrition is the way to go. So to be able to find more is not always better. And I think people would love to say, oh, why can't I just take one pill? There's a reason for that. When you combine too many nutrients, it's then not going to be absorbed. But they found for this example of carotenoids, vitamin E, and your omegas, that it can actually be put in together and released in that upper intestinal tract. And many people that take fish oils, you know the benefits of fish oils, you know, lubricating the joints, heart health, brain health. You know, it's very hard to find fish oils that, one, are clean and pure, don't have all the contaminants from the ocean, but also don't have that fishy taste, which a lot of people, when I ask them why they don't take fish oils, that's why, because they can't handle burping up fish later. But they've actually found a way to be guaranteed it's released, but without all the additive things that, you know, create basically the nutrients to be void. Now we have our B and C. So we talked about this a little bit ago of how that provides up to 198% greater absorption rate because of the fact of that delivery system over 12 hours. So your B and C vitamins, when you think about where that should be released, you want that to go further down, avoiding more releasing into the upper part towards the stomach, but instead this gets down into your small intestinal tract. So your B vitamins are something that are burned off by stress, burned off by bad eating habits, sugar. It's known as the happy vitamins. So B vitamins are very important. Every time you go to the bathroom, you excrete B vitamins. But this has all of your Bs intact, so not just sourcing one. This has all of them, along with your vitamin C, which is key for helping with your immune system. And the two together actually helps with absorption for both the C and the B vitamins. So, and again, all the studies are here to validate everything that, you know, we're claiming here. It's all there to be able to read the studies from. So here's also your probiotic. So this would be the other key component of, we had one in the up, we had one in the stomach, we had upper, we had lower. Now we get it all the way into the bottom of the intestinal tract, and this is where your probiotic should be released to guarantee that encapsulation helps provide all of that good bacteria protection. Because otherwise, if you're taking powdered probiotics, a lot of times you're taking liquid, you're taking some that, you know, have to be refrigerated, etc. There's no studies to say that when that hits room temperature that that good bacteria is no longer alive. So this is important that, again, you understand that it has to survive all of that in order to be released where it should. And when you look at probiotics, you know, that is just the key for so many of us to have gut issues, whether it's food sensitivities, whether it's environmental things even can cause disruption in your digestive tract and in that good bacteria. If you've ever had surgery, you've been on medications, if you get sick a lot of times, you know, almost up to, they're finding more and more the percentages are changing, but somewhere now I'd say the closest accurate measurement is 70 to 80% of your immune system is in your gut. So we need to keep building up that good bacteria, and that's what this little tiny probiotic does, that encapsulation system. So now, there's different needs, and again, from that landmark study, this is what they found looking at the greater population of the three categories. So you've got with iron, and you have gold. Now, these packages are actually the Canada version, so ours actually does say Vitalizer Men. That's going to be without iron. The women has iron, and gold is for 50 plus. But there's no need to be concerned if you're taking the men's. It just basically means you're taking it without iron. The nutrient value is very comparable, but for the most part, women tend to need iron until they're through menopause. So again, there's different needs for iron. So that's the main differences between these two. And then the gold is going to be the option for when you get to be over 50, you have additional needs for things like CoQ10. There's a little bit higher in different minerals. Again, as we age, our needs change. And that's what's great to note, that you don't have to be switching your supplement program around and figuring out what is needed where, that it's all designed for you, making this very simple. And love the fact that it is in a very convenient little strip that makes it super easy to take. And, you know, some people say, well, I have a hard time taking it without anything. And I want you to know it's very important that you should not take it without anything. You should be taking it actually with food, to helping it to break down. Now, some of the vitamins that are in there, people say, can I crush them? The Vitalizer strip with the bio-released availability system, you actually don't want to be crushing. The only one you can is the Vital E, but otherwise you want to try your best to keep those intact to make sure that it's staying in your system for a longer period of time. Note that Vitalizer Gold, I wanted to make sure you guys do note that too, if you're on a vitamin K supplement, that you generally want to take the Vital E without K. That's the difference. If you're on a blood thinner, that's the differences in the gold. But realistically, you want to take these with food, not crushing them, and with a meal. We love to do it with our shake. That's the easiest thing, first thing in the morning, like we were talking about at the beginning. That Prove It Challenge makes it very easy to get everything intact in a quick meal option, but you can do it whenever feels best for you. Some people break them up throughout the day, but the key is getting it into your body and knowing that it is continually released. So again, you're busy, you need quick options. Vitalizer Strip is a go-to for convenience. So all right, I know we're almost out of time because I do my best to keep these to 20 minutes, and I wanted to make sure I open up here for a few questions because I thought people might have some. So if anybody has anything they would love to say, like if you currently use the Vitalizer or maybe something you want to ask, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys ask a question here. Feel free to unmute yourself here a minute. Everybody's quiet, or you're just so excited to learn about this, you're ecstatic and yeah, can't figure out how to mute yourself. Well, feel free to, again, think about it here for a minute, guys, and I'll just kind of, share a few things from people that I have that take them, that I hear of. Some of the benefits from everything from, it's amazing how when I started taking Vitalizer, my hair loss decreased. It's funny how when people take this, it affects everybody differently. I would say for a lot of us, it's energy. That's a big one that people notice when you're lacking nutrients, your energy levels are way down. Some people, it helps them sleep better. Some people, again, it's digestive health. I've had people say, well, I'm amazed that my nails look so much healthier and they're growing so much faster. Again, definitely a correlation with having good nutrients in your diet, that it can affect your nail growth. Your skin, obviously looking more radiant, looking healthier, can be adding the right vitamins and minerals into your diet. So the Vitalizer, I think when people ask why they should take it, there is not one specific reason. I think it should be a foundation in everybody's health to cover all of your vitamins and minerals and to make sure you're getting every nutrient you can get that's in a guaranteed supportive way to help your body. So I'd say that's the best way to describe the Vitalizer. And also I'll mention here really fast, if you're using this for pregnancy, excellent. You can take this, and actually if your insurance company sometimes will cover your prenatals, the Vitalizer and the Vital E are all considered to be valid prenatal options. So note that sometimes you can even get that covered by your insurance. So throw that out there for you as a little fact too. So, all right, did anybody think of anything or anything you want to add or a question here? All right, we are actually done early. That's amazing. Well, I want to throw this out there too, that you guys do not forget, we have our big picnic this Sunday. So everybody is welcome. Please invite anyone that's new to Shaklee, any members, distributors, any of our teammates are welcome to join us. It is a great way to hear everything coming back from conference, to share with you guys some of the latest and greatest, but also just to, be in fellowship with a lot of our fun teammates here, and just to learn, and there'll be some giveaways and always lots of fun. So kids are welcome 2 to 4 this Sunday. So if you can make it, definitely let us know. And there is a sign up on Facebook. So if you're going to make it and you could sign up on there, that would be appreciated. So, all right, guys, well, I'm going to go ahead and stop our recording here, and we're going to move into business training. So anybody that wants to kind of go through, and we're going to be sharing some tips on some things on the website tonight, and also walk through that Prove It Challenge a little bit more. Feel free to hang out here. So, all right, guys, hope that was helpful, and have a great night for those of you that need to leave. Thank you very much for joining us.